Right now at 5, a strained system, a lack of funding, and the pandemic continue to contribute to a backlog of Wisconsin court cases.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Amy DuPont.
And I'm Ken Kozorowski. A lack of funding and staffing shortages are having a negative impact on Wisconsin's justice system. La Crosse's district attorney says the COVID-19 pandemic made the situation worse. News 8 Now's Dua Israr is live outside the La Crosse County Courthouse where some suspects and victims are still waiting for their cases to be heard.
And Ken, when the pandemic started, many cases were delayed. This led to a backlog of court cases. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul says without additional funding, this problem will continue. While the doors of the DA's office remained open during the pandemic, statewide it faced a staffing shortage. 2 years later, AG Kaul says courtrooms are still being impacted. Kaul says there's fewer prosecutors because of a lack of funding. And while some steps have been taken to increase positions, it's not enough.
We need to invest in our criminal justice system. Our criminal justice system in Wisconsin has been underfunded for decades.
La Crosse County District Attorney D.A. Grinke says there aren't enough prosecutors. It can lead to mistakes. Grinke says because of a staffing shortage, some cases may take longer to get to trial. In 2019, Governor Tony Evers announced the creation of 65 prosecutor positions across the state. Now, the DA's office isn't the only office facing this shortage. In August, a lawsuit was filed against the state of Wisconsin for violating the constitutional rights of suspects. Many of them are still waiting for their court cases to be heard because of a defense attorney shortage.
All right.
Amy and Ken, back to you.
Thank you, Dua.
Earlier this year, Governor Evers announced nearly $6 million of ARPA funds will be used to fill assistant DA positions.
The man accused of carrying out the Waukesha Christmas parade attack made a tearful plea during his opening statement. Darrell Brooks, who is defending himself, is accused of intentionally driving his SUV through that parade last November, killing 6 people and injuring dozens more. Brooks told jurors he did not plan the attack.
The evidence will show is that this incident was not planned. This incident was not intentional. And this incident was never even thought about.
If convicted, Brooks faces life in prison.
Wow, take a look outside. A gorgeous day across the Coulee region. We're seeing temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Black River Falls is checking in with 69, 67 in Eau Claire. We're sitting at 75 in La Crosse. Viroqua seeing a temperature of 70 degrees. And we're substantially warmer today as compared to yesterday, between 10 to 12 degrees warmer. And that trend is going to continue as we go into the weekend. We're going to stay in the 70s as we go into your Saturday, going into your Sunday. Outside right now, it is gorgeous out there. We're seeing that temperature of 75. If you like country music, I say it's one of those Joe Nichols kind of days. Take me somewhere sunny and 75. Right here. Feels like 75. Humidity is at 23%. The air is dry. Our dew point's at 35. But we have a nice calm wind out there. If you have any evening plans, we're going to see temperatures in the 50s as we roll into the 7 o'clock hour. By the 10 o'clock hour, we see temperatures in the upper 40s, low 50s. That trend continues for the 11 o'clock hour. Radar scan, we have a clean sweep across the area. This is going to get a break for the remainder of today. And going into tomorrow, it's when we get into Sunday afternoon, going into the evening and overnight hours, that precip chances will start to pick up now. Coming up in the first alert forecast, we're going to dive into the weekend. I'm telling you this right now, those 70s, they're not lasting forever. We're cooling off yet again. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Eric.
You bet.
President Biden has ramped up his public speaking tour, celebrating his administration's accomplishments ahead of the November 8th midterm elections.
And as Deborah Alfarone reports, chief among his points of pride, student debt relief.
President Biden touted his administration's student debt relief plan at Delaware State University, a historically black university in his home state.
Our student loan plan lowers costs for Americans as they recover from the pandemic to give everybody a little more breathing room.
Applications are already pouring in by the millions as Americans race to sign up for student loan forgiveness. 40 million Americans may be eligible to have $10,000 to $20,000 in federal student loan debt wiped clear.
Not a dime will go to the top 5% of incomes, period. It goes to people who really need it.
Forgiving student loan debt will cost the nation roughly $400 billion over the life of the program. Republicans are using that price tag to bash Biden and Democrats on the campaign trail.
We need to stop spending money that we don't have. The runaway spending is one of the reasons why we have inflation.
But the Biden administration has won the first round of legal challenges to his order. A federal judge in Missouri and Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett rejected 2 separate lawsuits Thursday challenging the rule.
Just yesterday, state court and the Supreme Court said, no, we're on Biden's side.
There are more legal challenges to the president's order still making their way through the courts. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
Not all relief will go to people who went to college. Nearly 40% of the relief will go to borrowers who didn't graduate or who earned a certificate, like welder or dental assistant.
Wisconsin's unemployment rate is below the national average. According to White House data released today, Wisconsin's rate is now 3.2%. The national average is 3.5%. In a one-on-one interview with News 8 Now, one of the president's economic advisors says Wisconsin's economy is strong. Jared Bernstein also touted the president's work to decrease the deficit by a record $1.4 trillion.
Wisconsin is a good example of that, where we have an unemployment rate of close to 3% in the state. A lot of people work. That means they're drawing paychecks, and it also is good news for deficit reduction. So we're glad to see that.
President Biden's student loan forgiveness program, which has, as we just heard, drawn criticism from many Republicans, will add $420 billion to the deficit.
The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol has sent a subpoena to former President Donald Trump. The group wants Trump to sit for a deposition under oath to provide documents as well, including personal communications with congressional members and extremist groups, by next month. The committee is looking at evidence to determine if Trump was at the center of the multifaceted plot to overturn the 2020 presidential election. It's unclear if Trump will comply with the subpoena. It comes the same day former Trump aide Steve Bannon was sentenced to 4 months in prison for defying a committee subpoena.
Democratic candidate for Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District, Brad Pfaff, is talking health care costs with local seniors. The current state senator introduced a proposal to create an Office of Prescription Drug Affordability. Pfaff says his opponent, Derek Van Orden, plans to make cuts to Social Security and Medicare, a move Pfaff says would hurt Wisconsin seniors.
That have worked hard their entire life. They do not need a member of Congress or a congressional representative who will go to Washington, D.C. and cut Social Security and Medicare. That cannot happen.
Pfaff's proposal at the state level did make it out of committee.
HorseSense is asking the community for help. With winter fast approaching, the nonprofit is asking for donations to help feed their 10 therapy horses. A $5 donation will feed 1 horse enough hay for a day. HorseSense hopes to raise more than $10,000. We'll post a link at news8000.com.
Still to come, protecting kids where they learn and play.
We take a closer look at the safety policies in your child's schools and daycares.
Mowing days are here at Menards. That means you'll save $20 instantly when you spend $200 or more on mowing products. That's extra savings on faucets and sinks, shower heads and shower rods, and more. The savings don't stop there. You'll still save 11% on everything. So update your bathroom or create the kitchen of your dreams with big savings in all mowing products during mowing days at Menards.
Joe Biden took $4 trillion from us taxpayers and he spent it. $4 trillion. And what do we get? We got higher gas prices, higher groceries, just about everything. Brad Pfaff, well, he backed Joe Biden 100% of the time. That's what you get when you spend your career in politics. Well, it ain't me. Let's try something different. Let's cut spending, balance the budget, and get America back on track. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
It's time to get out and rediscover Ho-Chunk Gaming Black River Falls. Grab your friends and play for the day, or 2, or 3. It's time for you to win, laugh, and enjoy. Over 650 slot machines, tables, bingo, great rewards, delicious food. Ho-Chunk Gaming, just what you need. Get out again and experience the difference at Ho-Chunk Gaming Black River Falls.
You heard the Jingle Man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
Get up and go.
When I heard from my doctor, it was my worst nightmare. My baby's diagnosis was dismal, a severe abnormality, and my husband and I decided to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Tim Michaels thinks that decision should have been his, not ours. He wants to criminalize abortion. And if he's elected, women will lose the freedom to decide what's best for them. Tim Michaels is just way too radical for Wisconsin.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
A criminal investigation is underway after 6 people died in a southern Wisconsin apartment fire.
It happened early this morning west of Milwaukee in the village of Heartland. According to area police, when firefighters arrived at the 4-unit complex, flames were coming from the building.
First responding police and fire crews were met with a large amount of fire and began to rescue individuals from the building and the balconies of the building.
Investigators have not released any information about the victims. The State Department of Criminal Investigation is at the scene working to determine a cause.
Well, tonight News 8 Now is looking out for your children's safety in schools and daycares. We've learned some states do not require those facilities to have carbon monoxide detectors.
Reporter Jonah Kaplan did some checking on the laws in both Minnesota and Wisconsin.
It's long been known as the silent killer, which is why the message from fire marshals always loud and clear. Carbon monoxide detectors could save your life.
Carbon monoxide is the odorless, tasteless gas. You can't detect it on your own until symptoms begin. So you need that alarm for early warning.
Just this past weekend, investigators blaming a CO leak for killing a Twin Cities couple on a hunting trip in Mille Lacs County. Last year, CO killing a family of 7 in Moorhead. Now there's a nationwide alarm after a broken heater led to a carbon monoxide leak inside a Pennsylvania daycare center. There were no detectors inside, and Pennsylvania law didn't require them.
As of March 2020, the new fire code here in the state of Minnesota generally requiring preschools, daycares, and schools to have carbon monoxide detectors either in every classroom or place a detector by a fuel-burning appliance, a source of where CO could be coming from. That's a boiler room, or that's near the furnace or an HVAC. There is, though, some fine print. In Minnesota, those new building codes, the fire codes, it only applies to new construction. It's not retroactive. And in Wisconsin, their carbon monoxide detector laws, it only applies to residential settings. It has nothing about schools.
That means if there are CO detectors at schools like Wooddale Community Nursery School, it's of their own initiative.
I just think people should do things that keep them safe. I don't know why you wouldn't.
For parents, the fire marshal's school inspection team offering them many good questions to take to their child's school administration.
I would ask what type of system you have, where are the detector locations, and most importantly, where does that alarm signal go?
So again, not required in Wisconsin schools by law. And get this, a 2-pack of carbon monoxide detectors at a chain store like your Home Depot runs about $30.
Feels like this could be a bipartisan solution.
I would hope
for
so.
sure. I
So
mean,
simple.
Seems simple for sure.
Yeah.
Still to come tonight, art to fund education.
The Logan High School Craft Fair is going to raise money for college scholarships.
And take a look at City Camp. We have a gorgeous sunset at this hour. Now the question is, how long will this nice weather last? I'll have the answer in the first forecast coming up on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
In the Senate, Ron Johnson pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself and his donors.
Did my business benefit? Sure. Did some of my donor businesses? Sure.
But here's what Johnson's doing to us. He voted to raise the retirement age and allow cuts to Social Security. Even supports letting Wisconsin ban nearly all abortions and said, if you don't like it, you can move. Ron Johnson works for himself, never us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
It's Ford SUV season. Time to gear up for changing conditions on and off-road. Get great deals on our most capable lineup of Ford SUVs, including Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport. Both rated 2022 IIHS top safety picks, and both designed to give you greater confidence. Hurry, Ford SUV season will end soon. Now, for a limited time, get $500 retail order bonus cash on a 2022 Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport, only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Dear veteran, if you or someone you know struggles with PTSD, family relationships, financial or other hardships, let us help get you back on track. Here at Project New Hope, we offer a no-cost weekend wilderness retreat with only one mission: you. Licensed counselors are available around the clock, meals are provided, and there is no obligation to you. For more information, please visit projectnewhope.net and let us help bring you home.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland, as in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
It really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
I'm Fritz Leinfelder, and I'm running for La Crosse County Sheriff. I want to grow relationships built on open communication and trust so that all groups feel welcome to share their ideas and viewpoints. I want to collaborate with the community to find successful outcomes that can meet the needs of those that need the most help. That's why so many citizens in the community, as well as law enforcement and corrections officers, have backed me for this campaign. I am Fritz Leinfelder, and I approve this message.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
I feel like I need some kind of staff or something to read this next line.
Yes, I think so.
Let the crafty community unite.
Oh, well done.
Thank
Logan
you.
High School is hosting its annual Fall Craft Show tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, this year's event will feature more than 150 local vendors selling everything from clothing, home decor, to even homemade food. Now, admission is free, but organizers are accepting Goodwill donations. Proceeds will help fund college scholarships for Logan students.
You know who would have nailed that line, let the crafty community unite?
Oh, that's geared towards Eric Dean, I think.
Eric Dean. Eric, I can just hear you saying that.
That's right. Hey, I tell you what, a gorgeous evening in store, a gorgeous weekend is in store as well. Temperatures staying in the 70s. There's a look at CityCam. Look at that beautiful, I'm going to step off the screen. This is a postcard sunset, if you will. A little bit of cloud cover out there, a beautiful evening nonetheless. We're seeing temperatures right now in the 70s. We're at 75 at the airport. Feels like 75. That dew point is low. We have a calm wind out there. River level is going down a little bit at 5.24 feet. Other temperatures across the area in the 60s and 70s. We're the warm spot, one of the warm spots on the map. The warm spot in the Cooley region, I should say. Winona's checking in with 70. Decorah's at 72, 68 in Preston, 67. Rochester Red Wings at 66. Sparta, good evening to you guys. You're at 71. Same story with Volk Field. Now, we do need some precipitation. Hey, we're sitting at 907 inch of rain for the month. If today was the last day, we would be the third driest October on record. This is behind 1952 and 1889. Now, the good news is we have precip chances in the forecast, but not today and not tomorrow. There's the radar scan. We have a clean sweep across the area. High pressure is large and in charge. It is in control. It's going to stay in control as we go into tomorrow. And for the most part, Sunday. When we get into Sunday, mid to late afternoon, going into early evening hours, that's when rain and thunderstorm chances will start to pick up. All right, when you wake up in the morning, temperatures in the 30s and 40s will greet you, making for a mild fall evening across the Cooley region. Mild for October standards, I should say. Our average high for this time of year is 60 degrees. We'll see a little bit of cloud cover as we go into your evening and overnight hours. Hey, there's 9 o'clock tomorrow. Look at that. Abundant sunshine will be the rule. And that story continues with clear skies for Saturday. Look at the highs tomorrow. If you like today, I think you're going to like tomorrow. Look at Eau Claire, 73 degrees, 76 in Black River Falls, 76 in Sparta. Oh, so close to 80 in Boscobel. You're going to get to 79 degrees, and that trend is going to continue for your Sunday going into Monday. There's your jet stream, and look what happens. We get that southerly component, and with that southerly component, we warm up. So I showed you the highs for Saturday. How about Sunday? Same story. Temperatures staying in the 70s. The next 8 days has temperatures staying in the 70s for Monday. And look where we cool off. We go into the 50s for Tuesday, going into next weekend, and we increase the precipitation chances starting Sunday night. They last from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We get a break Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, we keep the rain chances in the forecast. So definitely enjoy this weekend.
All right, is this it, Eric? Do you think it is the last 70s?
Probably the last hurrah.
October's Mother Nature's wild card, if you will.
You're our wild card, and we love it.
Let the 70s commence.
That's right.
Thanks, Eric.
You bet.
After the break, Art for Owls.
Young artists from all over the world are pitching in to raise money for the International Owl Center, and you can help.
Monday on News 8 Now this morning, consumers are ready to go big on Halloween. Check out this year's hot costumes and how inflation is affecting prices. And they're colorful, but they can kill. A reminder for parents to watch out for rainbow fentanyl as it's on the rise within communities. We hope you have a great Friday night. More News 8 Now is coming up after the break.
The Board Store inaugural Fall Home Show is underway. A $250 discount coupon is yours just for stopping by to see all the new displays and updates we have made. We'd love to meet you.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine when you purchase. Plus, current Chevy owners can get an additional $2,500 loyalty cash. And now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories.
At Toma Health, we provide rehabilitation care from expert providers.
My name is Erica Rosemary, and I'm a physical therapist for Toma Health. Quality care to me means treating someone the way that you would treat a family member.
Toma Health offers the latest technology and aquatic therapy to improve patient outcomes.
Our rehab services department truly cares about treating people as a whole and getting them to be the best version of themselves. Toma Health offers personalized rehab therapy close to home.
Here in Wisconsin, you should be able to walk down the street and not worry about crime. I'm Josh Call. As a former federal prosecutor and your attorney general, I've put murderers, drug traffickers, and sex offenders behind bars and kept them there. And I worked with Democrats and Republicans to change the law so rape kits don't sit around untested. I know there's more to do, but I will not stop until you and your family are safe, no matter what neighborhood you live in.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Don't forget the binoculars outdoors. Bird enthusiasts in Viroqua can view some exotic birds up close.
The McIntosh Memorial Library opened its new aviary center today. The library received a $10,000 AARP grant to fund the project. Organizers held a ribbon cutting ceremony and then hosted a festival of birds featuring owls and bald eagles. The library director says the center can educate and inspire.
To learn about birds, to be inspired to go out in nature and do a bird walk, to have feeders in your home and or you're outside of your home, and just to understand the beauty of birds that live in our region.
Now, this is Viroqua's only facility with an aviary. The 7 birds include finches and 1 singing canary.
The International Owl Center is hosting an online fundraiser this weekend. The Houston, Minnesota nonprofit is auctioning off 49 pieces of owl art made by kids from all over the world. Most of the proceeds will go toward building the nonprofit's future facility. The center's executive director says a portion will be going toward their sister center in Nepal, where she says owl protection efforts are desperately needed.
And they have issues with illegal hunting, illegal trade in owls. People still eat them or kill them for sport. So owl education there is extremely important. So we're trying to help support that.
The center's also auctioning experiences like an owl banding trip in Saskatchewan. The auction link goes live Saturday morning, closes 8 p.m. Sunday. Bidders will get notifications on their bid status, and Bloom says people can also use the auction website to send a donation. For more info, head to news8000.com.
We'll be right back with a preview of what's coming up at 6.
Of all the improvements you can make to your home, it could be the most important is not seen or heard, only felt. The ultra-quiet, energy-efficient Carrier Infinity Home Comfort System provides premium comfort with a whole home air purifier that gives you confidence you're breathing healthier air. It's an essential part of any healthy home.
Serving Toma, Black River Falls, and the surrounding communities, DeRusso Heating and Cooling is your alternative energy expert.
When I started working at Michaels Corporation, Tim was 9 years old.
Tim worked in the trenches for many years when he first started out in this company.
51 years.
12 years. 20 years.
50 years.
Took a small Wisconsin company to one of the best in America.
Tim is really hardworking.
Very good leader.
And he's going to tell you like it is.
Because of Tim Michaels, there are thousands of good paying jobs in Wisconsin.
Jobs that people are proud of.
I wouldn't hesitate for 1 second to jump in a Foxhole with Tim.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we make it easy to get ready for winter. We're the cold weather experts, offering the gear and supplies you need to combat the cold, snowy weather ahead, all at fair and honest prices. Like 30% off zero exposure coats for the family. These women's Carhartt vests, $99.99. Get a free pair of boot socks with every snow boot purchase while supplies last. And keep pets cozy with special buy pet bed and blanket sets, just $19.99.
Some things make you wonder, what the PATH? Like career politician Brad Pfaff voting to raise our taxes after promising not to. Then praising another $1 billion in tax hikes on Wisconsin families. Seriously, what the PATH? Or when he supported trillions of dollars in big government spending, creating record inflation. What the PATH? Makes you wonder how anyone could trust career politician Brad Pfaff. NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The great experiences you have in here and even out here all started here. Because the best customer experience always leaves a great impression. GMC, awarded #1 in sales satisfaction by J.D. Power. Sierra models are arriving weekly at your local GMC dealers, available for immediate delivery with 0% financing. Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Coming up tonight at 10, the first round of the Wisconsin High School football playoffs. All a preview of the Hilltoppers game as they look to stay unbeaten against Ashland.
And here's a look at your forecast for tomorrow. We'll see temperatures in the upper 40s by the 8 o'clock hour. Look at the 2 to about 4 o'clock time frame. We'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Some places, especially towards Basketball and Prairie du Chien, getting very, very close to 80.
Is that record territory?
I will find that out, and I'll have that at 6.
Okay. All right.
It's pretty incredible, though, to be touching
yeah.
darn near 80
yeah.
for this time of the year.
Have a great day, everyone.
We appreciate your time.